West Virginia, never see the sunrise until now. Richard, those windows that he sent me pictures of face east, and for some reason, they took on some severe scorching this year, and he has no idea.
Come on, don't tell me you just cut the stream. It's telling me that I'm still streaming. YouTube. Desperate. Desperate. So I am streaming. Okay. You hear me? Smashing. Why is the video not going out? Let me change to this, back to this, back to this. Okay. Back to this. Okay. Let's see what happens. What I will do is I will paste the link, if you can hear me, to the video that I'm showing, that they don't want me to show. Oh dear, dear, dear. You see, YouTube knows what I have queued. Obviously. The video I'm going to show, that I was going to show basically just the face-off, but not the actual content, and urge you all to go and see, that video is something that has YouTube absolutely quaking. You got me as a new hangout. Are you visible? Am I visible? Or what the heck is going on? Let me see what's... Yeah. Huh? What? I have no idea what's happening. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. What? I have no idea. Oh well, I'm gonna put this info out anyway, no matter how much they try to mess. Gotcha guys, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. So I'm gonna rewind a portion of this video for the part that was interrupted whilst the whole thing was collapsed.
Sent in some pictures from the area of
same thing, saying the sun is coming up and setting a different azimuth. So watch.
Facing east, his home had burnt windows for the first time ever, and he had never noticed anything like that before, much like Shirley down in West Virginia, never been able to see the sunrise until now. Richard, those windows that he sent me pictures of face east, and for some reason, they took on some severe scorching this year, and he has no idea why. And once again, these are from Nova Scotia, a little farther up from Shirley down in West Virginia. The next photographs are of an observation made from New Brunswick, which is right next to Nova Scotia. Young lady feeds the hummingbirds up there, has for years. She's done this for a long time, okay? She's got her hummingbird feeder over here in the shade, which you can see the nectar is red. This bottle used to hold the nectar, and there's still some in the bottle that's now clear. And it's in the direct sunlight. And it's sat in the direct sunlight for just a couple of days, but she's done that in the past, and it's never lost its color. This year, for whatever reasons, the red color of her hummingbird feeder juice turned white. The red disappeared. The bottle over here in the shade, the actual feeder, still maintained its color. So that tells you that the sun intensity has definitely increased with regard to at least being able to remove the color from like hummingbird juice. We've noticed stop signs that are red that have been turning white over the last couple of years, just a variety of different things. And this is yet another example of what we've been noticing for a couple of years, color disappearing, especially certain types of color that are in direct sunlight. This observation was made by Teresa out of New Brunswick. So good observation, guys. Thanks for the pictures. Thanks for the emails. Greatly appreciate it. Now I want to look at some new sky phenomena.
Never mind the sky phenomena. Now, Remember some years ago when the mainstream was telling us that the sun gives cancer? And it's like, if the sun gave cancer, there wouldn't be humans on this earth. Maybe it was, and yes, of course, it was like, so put sunscreen on. But doesn't sunscreen give you cancer? Yes, but never mind that. Maybe it was a way of saying to people, start getting used to avoiding the sun, because it's going to become a lot more harmful. And because the sun is not the thing that we were taught it is, it's a byproduct of the freaking day sky. You can get sunburnt or sky burned in the shade of a building, not the shade of a parasol where the UV rays can make their way through, the shade of a hotel. I know, because it was me. Okay? Now, what I'm showing here, guys, I'm going to paste a link in the chat. I'm not going to play it. Not because I'm afraid, even though I did say, I don't want my channel killing. Wait, I don't want my channel killing. If it was very, very good, I'll play it. It's a little bit poor. Presentation style and whatnot. This guy is brilliant. Any of you guys who don't know him, he's just brilliant. He teaches people how to make weapons of all kinds. He's just cool. He lives in Germany, and he says, and this one, if you do this, it's not illegal in Germany. He's brilliant. But he's had his channel demonetized and all the same shenanigans that they've done to flat earthers. It's not just flat earthers they're doing it to. All the people complaining about social justice warriors flagging their videos and whatnot, it's not just flat earth. So let me repeat, it's not just flat earth that's being censored. This channel, this guy, I don't even know if he's a flat earther, it doesn't matter. The point is, his is one of the channels, and what he proposes, I paste a link in the chat, you go and watch it and you join in. I already have. It's such a clever move in a world where litigation and what's correct and what's the right thing to do, which is why YouTube pulls videos and channels, it's the right thing to do. We can't allow this badness to continue. That's their foundation. The right thing to do is to stop this. It's not, it's completely wrong, but that's their foundation. Well, the right thing to do, world, is the world of law. Just watch what these guys are doing. It's a big trouble in Little China for YouTube. Right, anyway. Now I'm going to go in the chat. Let's see. There was also most of them trying to block the sun for us so we don't lose our colour. Exactly, not really. They've been trying to control the effects of the sun for decades now. Let me stop sharing that. Wait, first I'll change scene in case the whole thing drops or something. They've been, at least since the 80s. What's this? Okay, this. Since the 1980s, they've been blocking the sun. They've started blocking the sun in the 80s. Properly blocking it. They started earlier, but for tests and studies and whatnot. Chemtrails, that's right, those things that aren't real. According to Globlings, chemtrails aren't even real. They're not even a real thing. Like, okay, do you know the difference between white and yellow? Is that a real thing? Is there really a difference between white and yellow? Globlings? The answer is yes. Is the sun white or yellow? Go and look. Now, is it white because it's white because of the chemicals in the air? Or is it white regardless of the chemicals in the air? I don't recall seeing it not white. And I don't think that there are chemicals in the air all of the time. I don't know. Okay, but oh, is that Glenn McIntosh? Glenn McIntosh. What's my previous one? The Star Trails. Your hobby horse has just destroyed your globe, Glenn McIntosh. It's so funny. Your South Celestial Pole has just destroyed. I tell you what, because I know you'll be watching with Pete and Graham, I'm going to play it again. Aye. So, citation needed. To what? The question is white distinct from yellow. Do you need a citation for that, Glenn McIntosh? Anyway, let me pull it up. It won't take me long. Oh. Just bear with me, Glenn. Just go and make yourself a nice cup of coffee. Oh, yes. Well, you can rewind this actual hangout that you're watching now and watch Globlings complain about how the sun is not rising and setting where it used to. That's right, just watch it. Now I'm looking for... where's Wolfie? Ay. The poor complete dim. And guess what, Glenn? It's Wolfie 6020. That's right. That's who's just completely destroyed your globe. He didn't realise. He's not pulled the video yet. I don't know whether he will. But he didn't realise. So let me do the thing again. I have to try and remember how you do it. Scene 2 is this. Okay, so no. Oh, is this the one? Yes, it is. Smashing. Now, look, Glenn, get yourself a piece of paper. Make this big screen. That's right. Get yourself a little piece of paper. Okay? Type X when you've done that, Glenn. Just go ahead. Type X when you've done that. Glenn McIntosh is the guy who did the daytime nighttime video, who fantasizes about, and let's remember, Glenn, you do this, or you used to all the time, until I started kind of highlighting that it was a little bit messed up. He used to fantasize about being violated by an old British wrestler called Jeff Capes. That's right. Right, so Glenn McIntosh, get a piece of paper and type X. And anybody who's watching, who just started watching this, I just went over this in a previous hangout, which was caught by YouTube for no good reason. I'm waiting for Glenn to say, I have a piece of paper, I'm ready, Antonio. Antonio. It's Antonio. Oh, by the way, just not to say that Wolfie's drunk or desperate, but in the long exchange in a previous video, just recently, he's complaining that I haven't responded to something, even though he hasn't responded to a simple question, which is, why does the feather oscillate on the moon? He says, quote me. So I'll quote him. He says, that's not what I said. I said, you haven't answered the question. And he says, how about you answer it? And he says, I did address your question. And then I said, well, you haven't answered it. It's like, after saying that you did, it's like, quote where I said I did. So I quote where he says, I did address your question. It doesn't. Anyway, he then addresses it saying, studies have shown that the feather is not oscillating, it's artifacts, it's camera artifacts, that's what it is. Okay. And he says, and maybe you would know, maybe you should have known this, or is English not your first language? I said, well, first, you didn't address it. Second, yeah, English is not my first language. It isn't. So, Glenn McIntosh, go and get a piece of paper. Glenn McIntosh, stop sidestepping. Tell you what, would you like to join, Glenn? Stop sidestepping with something else you don't understand, which is daylight savings. How's that working for you? Plus 1 hour minus 1 hour. How's minus 1 day working for you, Glenn McIntosh? That's right. Look at Goa. How's that for messing around with time, Glenn? Not an hour, a day. So Thursday, instead of going into Friday, goes into Saturday. Thursday, Saturday. Oh, they changed time zones. Like, yes, they lost a day. Dumbass. So Glenn, get a piece of paper. Or something you can measure with. Graham, you jump in. Let me know if you've got a piece of paper you can measure with. How is having to come up with a complete nonsense on a daily basis to appease numpties working out for you? Glenn, I said get a piece of paper and type X when you've got a piece of paper. I know you've got lots of pieces of paper there, so grab one and say that you've got one. You're going to use it to measure distances between star trails. They're on your screen right now. Glenn McIntosh, never. Okay. Well, for everybody else in the chat, I'm going to move my screen as a cursor. And I'm going to use the top left corner. So let me see where it is. This corner as the pointer. Oh, sorry. I just moved the wrong screen. This one. So that corner. Okay, we're going to look at this trail here. Okay. This trail. And this one. The light one, not the bright one. This one, which goes on beyond the frame. Okay. And we're going to measure from here. Okay. And from, well, here. And we're going to compare distances, Glenn McIntosh. You might not be doing it, but the flat earthers are. You know what a logical impossibility is? I know you don't, Glenn. I tried to explain to Glenn and Pete what logical impossibilities were, and they said, no, because superimposition. Like, what's this superimposition? Superpositional physics. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, well, this thing can have two states. Like, don't talk about something you don't even understand. Well, what about a car that changes colour from green to purple? That was Glenn McIntosh who's in the chat saying something can be two different entirely mutually exclusive states at the same time, like a car whose paint goes purple, green. It's like, you don't understand. You really don't understand. Like, Glenn, I love you, bro, but you're very thick, dude, sometimes. So, Glenn, remember that talk? Yes? Now place the center to those star trails. First, notice the difference between the distances, and then place a center to them. Figure out where the centers are. Oh, it's just so fun. Right, anyway, let me stop screen sharing this. Oh, and this, just so you understand, okay, because you could say, oh, flat earthers, they're always tricking footage. This is Wolfie 6020. Let me take the volume off. Look, it's his star trails. He took this footage. Look, star trails. It's his footage. Oh, see? Oh, look. Oh, except the distance here is shorter than the distance here. Hello, that can't happen. That's right, it can't. It can't under a single axis, but I'm pretty sure you don't understand that. So I'll move on now, Glenn. Nice to see you in my chat. Thanks for the extra view. Now, I will stop sharing, however it is. Is it this one? This one, there you go. Glenn, I haven't seen any comments of yours with a feather hammer drop, Glenn. Glenn, I haven't seen that. Oh, look, he's getting a bit. Oh, he's getting a bit shirty. I have known this idiot posting as a clever person for 5 years. He is really not clever. Glenn, look, you can't have circles that are out of line with a single center. Understand? Two circles out of line cannot share the same center. Understand? I mean, you really don't have to be a genius to understand this. You just have to be like normal level. You have to be stupid to not understand this. Oh. Anyway, so the previous video I was showing is the German guy from the Slingshot channel and how they are going to deal, how IG Metals, a German company, union, how a union is taken on YouTube. Just take a look at that video, please, guys. I'll see if I still have the link, and I'll paste the link in the chat again. Because it is very good. It looks like the kind of video that Glenn McIntosh, his Vivid Photo Visual, his company might make. Glenn, when you watch it, you'll love that comment because it's funny. No, I have to say it. I have to give it to Vivid Photo Visual. They're very good. They're very, very good. I mean, let's face it, they made that daytime, nighttime video out of cuts from other things. They're very good. But I've seen some of the other videos that, I mean, if you go to their website and you look at some of their videos, they're brilliant. They are really good at what they do. So, you know, fair is fair. No, Glenn oh, this is another thing. Glenn doesn't, you know how I just explained, so people in the chat, okay, you know how I just explained to Glenn that you cannot have two circles that are out of line that share the same center. Just explained it to him. He doesn't get it. So he'll delete it. Back, long time ago, I make a video mocking Glenn, who's saying you can't see the Polaris from the south. At the time, there was questions, and in fact, according to your globe theory, but you don't understand this, Glenn, you should be able to see Polaris south of the equator because of refraction. Okay, you should. You know that half degree sun refraction that we get? Sorry, that quarter of the sun, quarter of a degree refraction, that's how much south of the equator you should be able to see Polaris. But never mind that. So I start looking and I start joking with him and I find, no, you can't find Polaris, any footage of Polaris from the south. But I do find South Celestial Trail, you know, star trails, with a more center star than Polaris. Polaris is the one that's supposed to have the most center star. Now, obviously, they're using filters, different light settings to capture Sigma Octantis from the south. But I'm mocking them because normally you can't see that because your eyes don't, well, they can't see it, okay? And if they did that with Polaris, they could see a further one too, if they wanted to. So it's all moot. But I then mock him, saying, but look, the most centered one is in the south. But if the most centered one is Polaris, then Polaris must be in the south, because it's the most centered, back and forth and back and forth. I mess up the video, the execution messes up. I go in the next day to see Glenn McIntosh, and I say, what's this? I'm like, and I tell them, I explain to them what happened with the rendering of the video. They were the first people to hear what happened. Glenn has deleted hearing that. Glenn McIntosh, just like you, right now, I'm going to say it again and then you will immediately delete it. You cannot have circles that are out of line that share the same central point. Okay? that are out of line. Not where one is larger than the other. That's not out of line. You'll immediately delete that, just like with the Polaris in the south. Glenn, you poor thing. Oh, so here, you could join me. I know you joined me that one time and were incredibly embarrassed by yourself. Just utter nonsense. This is where he starts to lie. Like, okay, well, Graham was there and Pete was there. Pete blanks out, is just like, not interested. Graham listens, but it's like, sometimes bothered, sometimes not bothered. Glenn is the one that has the big problem, which is why Glenn is the one that's in the chat. Glenn, please type X or some other thing if you understand that you cannot have circles that are out of line that share the same central point. Just so people can see your integrity. It's very simple. Let's see if you can actually address that question. Nita Holman, yes, see you later. Later, party pack. And I will wrap up soon. I would have wrapped up already if Glenn wasn't there. Oh, it looks like it's taking him a long time to answer. Oh, there you go. It was a 3-part joke. No, it wasn't. It was a 2-part joke, Glenn McIntosh. Why 3 parts? Why have you just said 3? Why are you lying, Glenn McIntosh? This is what he writes. It was a 3-part joke without the punchline, or he released a video. Or he released a video, people mocked him, then he pulled it, released another one, people mocked it, etc. No. Glenn McIntosh. Now answer the question about the center of the circles, right? Glenn McIntosh says it was a 3-part joke. Like, no. It was supposed to be one single video. The render didn't happen. I stopped the render. I cut the video in half, thinking, well, half of it will render. I rendered that half. I uploaded it. I then went and looked at the second half, but it wasn't there because it hadn't rendered to the library. So it's like, oh, I'm going to have to do it again. So I went to bed because I spent the whole thing doing it and I had a headache by then. And then the next day I thought, nah, the whole thing's lost. You have to have timing for comedy. It was a joke. But, nah, Glenn, he's converted it in his brain into a 3-part joke. Like, really? So now let's see. Go to Glenn's channel, Anita. Subirats teaches us proven idiotic data network. Does he? Is that Glenn's channel? I don't see an answer from Glenn. The simple question, can circles that are out of line with each other share a single center? Rock Lover, you answer the question, please. So, Glenn McIntosh, again I'll ask the question. Can circles that are out of line share a center? And that would be a central point. Not an area within a small circle where you could have different centers. No, central point. Scarys writes, he will not answer straight nor measure the distances. I know, it's called fear and cognitive dissonance. It's fear. And from one of his heroes, a pilot no less, Wolfie6020. Glenn, it's a waste of time. He's hijacked the stream. Iron26, it would have finished already, the stream. I said what I wanted to say. And it really would. I would have quit already. Now I'm just having fun with him. Also, it gives me a little bit of practice on using this thing. So thanks, Glenn. Thanks. Glenn McIntosh, I'm guessing you are doing it wrong like everything else that comes out of your mouth. Okay. Glenn, the video's right there. You can take a look yourself. You can see whether or not they share a central point. But that's not the question. The question wasn't, is that showing that they don't share a central point? The question was a simple geometrical question. Do circles that are out of line share a central point? Take your time, Glenn. That's the question. That's the question. Do circles that are out of line share a single point? Like this, you can answer it two ways. Like, do they share a central point? Or can they share a central point? Because the answer is the same answer. Hi. So, just for people in the chat, some time ago, when I had a big channel, well, a bigger channel anyway, Conspiracy Cats wanted to debate me. I'm like, sure. And he's like, woo, silence. Okay? Like, really, silence. Then my channel gets killed, I open a new channel, and it's been months of silence. Although we chat from time to time on Skype, just, text. Hey, when do you want to debate? He's like, I'll debate you when you've got 20,000 subs. Okay, he won't. When I have 20,000 subs, he will not debate me. Rock Lover, Glenn and Antonio are like an old married couple. No, that's Glenn and Graham. Yeah, guys, listen, okay? Although you might be sensing animosity and stuff, I really like Glenn. And I know that Glenn really likes me. He's almost hugged me to say, Antonio, please get over this flat earth stuff. It's worrying me. Almost, tearing up. Not quite, but he cares, It's like, fraternal love. It's true. I just I wish that he would get it. And he thinks it's a delusion. It's like, dude, look, it's not a delusion. Look yourself. Just look. Look at the star trails. But yeah. Yeah, funny how he's here watching. He's usually watching flat earth debates, with totally easy to debunk and just dismiss stuff, which is what they have. Why don't challenge him in a video, Glenn McIntosh? Okay, do you think that would work? Oh, I don't like Antonio. Okay, Rock Lover, I'm asking you now. Can two circles, or more circles, it doesn't matter, can circles that are out of line share the same central point? Glenn McIntosh is writing, why don't you challenge him in a video? Tell you what, after I've done this stream, I'll close this stream, and then I will start another one, so it's a separate thing. People don't have to traipse through however many hours. A short little challenge to Conspiracy Cats. Already, I tell you what, how can I show it? Sam and Dan was trying to broker a debate between me and Team Skeptic, although Team Skeptic was too afraid to come on camera, so I said, nah, no thanks. And I don't know who they are. I said, but Conspiracy Cats was up for debating me. How about we debate? Because he shows his face on camera. Silence. But I will. I'm going to show a little video. In fact, tell you what, I was going to wrap up, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make a coffee, and I'm going to continue. Then I will close Glenn. Then I will make a standalone little challenge to Conspiracy Cats. I'm going to show Sam and Dan. Although he cares about his hair and his eyebrows, somebody wipes the floor with him. Marty Leeds. So I'm going to show a video of that. Rock Lover, not unless Earth moves. No, Rock Lover. Even Earth moving. If the circles are out of line, no Earth moving is going to cause that discrepancy. There will be discrepancy to all circles. So Rock Lover, no, that's wrong. The answer is no, they cannot. Hello, Antonio, like that uncle you love but avoid at parties. That's why you invited me to your party, is it? Aye, why, Glenn? I mean, I'm just trying to think. Are you trying to think of funny things to say? If so, ask Graham to jump in instead. And I know Graham's there going, burn. Right, anyway. I'm going to go and make a coffee. But what I'll do first is I'll pull up a video by Marty Leeds, who completely wiped the floor with Sam and Dan. So, let me see, which one was it now? Give me a second while I find it. Yes, this is the one. Okay. And I'm going to play it as much as I want. So here, I will start at the beginning. Now, those of you who who have your heart rate easily influenced by people's tone and tempo, just bear in mind there is no real ill will. Okay, so, and I say that because Marty Leeds gets a little bit exasperated, and it's because what's going on is exasperating. So you know, you can't blame a guy for getting exasperated in an exasperating situation. Glenn, exasperated means running out of patience. Sorry, I just had to do that. Okay, let me see how this is working. No, not that one. Not that one. Okay, 1 second. Just bear with me, folks, while I pull up this thing. Let me see if it's this one. Dag nabbit. I can't wait until I know this thing at the back of my hand. Although that might never happen. Let's see. Let's see what this is doing. Nope. Okay. Nope. Ugh. I hate that. Cancel. And remove. Just bear with me, folks. Oh, that's the one. Okay. Let's see. Capturing. Yes. So, Marty Leeds admits Fat Earther is smarter than him. I'm going to play this while I go and make a coffee. Marty Leeds. Simon Dan admits Flat Earther is smarter than he is. I really should start writing scripts for myself, you know. Anyway, here you go. Let me make sure everything is going out okay. Okay. Hello, Antonio. That uncle. Okay. Oh, no new comments from Glenn, but I was enjoying them. Anyway, here's Marty Leeds. We'll watch some of this. Those of you who like typos, Glenn McIntosh, you like typos, don't you? See if you can spot any typos in Sam and Dan's writing. Here you are.
All right, welcome everybody. So today we're just I'm going to end the little saga here with Simon Dan. If you guys have been following along the last couple videos, Simon Dan is a YouTuber, and he did a response video, 2 response videos to a couple videos I made on some numeric work that I did. And the first one was called "Flat Earther Gets His Numbers Embarrassingly Wrong" was the first one, and then the second one was called "Number Guy Pulls Numbers Out of Thin Air" or something like that. And so he did those 2 videos, and so the last 2 videos I responded to him. So Simon Dan is a YouTuber, and he's got I think like 200,000 subscribers or something like that. He's got quite a bit of subscribers, lots of likes, lots of fans, and things like that. And so he did these videos, like I said, basically slandering and trying to debunk all the math that Marty Leeds is presenting. So what I did just the other day is that I made a response video, and I literally went point by point in everything he said and showed why he's wrong. I showed why everything that he's saying can literally be debunked, is falsifiable, is verifiably falsifiable. It's incorrect. So I went and I spent an hour basically doing this. I took nearly every point, because I wasn't going to go over every single point because it was already like an hour-long video. And as I said, an hour-long spending, dealing with Simon Dan and editing videos with Simon Dan is enough to give a guy cancer. Okay, so we did. So I did a response video, and like I said, I went point by point, and I showed how Simon Dan and the fanboys of Simon Dan apparently can't understand basic things like laws of averages and calculating means. They don't understand that calendars are based on whole numbers. They don't understand that pi is an infinite number and has to be approximated, and has been approximated and is approximated throughout time, and even today, using ratios like 22 divided by 7 and 44 divided by 14 and 88 divided by 28 and 864 divided by 275, etc., etc., etc. So I pointed out that these people, the Simon Dan fans that are ascending on his channel and liking Simon Dan and ascending on my channel and sending all those dislikes, what they're doing is displaying their ignorance and showing that they don't understand basic mathematical principles. So that's what I did in the video. I showed them that they don't understand that. So I did the response, and then last night I said, okay, so I'm going to do a quick live stream, about 10-12 minute live stream. And what I did is I offered Simon Dan up a challenge. I offered him a challenge. And what I said was, Simon Dan, hey man, let's have a debate. You and I will get together and we'll have a debate. But we won't do it on your channel. We won't do it on my channel. What we'll do is we'll go to another channel. We'll get a mediator or a moderator to moderate it. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a debate about everything you talked about in those videos. But before that debate, what we're going to do is you and I are going to do an IQ test live online together, and then we'll have the debate. Okay? And then I said, what we're going to do is we're going to do a GoFundMe campaign. And then what we're going to do is take all that money from the GoFundMe campaign, try to raise, I don't know, several $1,000s, and we'll take all the money in the super chats, and all of that money will go to the charity of your choice. And that's what I offered up. And so what we're going to do today, and so he responded, and so I want to share with you what his response was. Now, this is going to be the end of this. So this is like sort of a 3-part thing. So I did the first video, and that was sort of like the New Hope, and then I did that sort of live stream last night, and that was like The Empire Strikes Back, and now this is The Return of the Jedi. So this little trilogy, this whole little 3-part rant I'm doing, I promise will be over today, unless Simon Dan decides he actually wants to debate, or he makes another one of those dumb fucking videos that he makes on me. So then I guess I'll have to respond. But this will be the end of this little 3-part. After this, we will go back to your regularly scheduled programming. Let's just say that, okay? So Simon Dan, like I said, he made a few videos and I responded, and he finally responded to me last night. So I said, hey man, let's do a debate. We'll do the IQ test. We'll get a moderator. We'll do it live. The money will go for charity. I'm sure you're game, because you're a man of science. I'm sure you're game. So he did respond to me, and he said, Marty, very strange that I'm blocked, yet you call me a coward. And apparently I had blocked him about a year and a half ago or whatever it was when he made the first video. And he said, whoever Skype you've been calling and messaging is not mine. So I messaged and called a Skype line, and he's saying it wasn't his.
I'm pausing because I see the stream. Okay, we're having problems. Okay, here we go. Let's continue.
Okay, so I said, send me a message through my...
Glenn McIntosh, have your typo spotting chip in. Okay, just take a look, see if you can find any typos in Simon Dan's
site listed above. I cannot find your email, and YouTube won't let me post my email here. Oh, and if I blocked you before, it's probably because you didn't respond to me when I offered up a challenge previously in your comment section. So I offered up a challenge in his comment section, and I know he got the message because he responded to me several times. So I sent a message in his comment section saying, hey, let's debate. Get a hold of me. I want to talk to you face to face. Care for a Skype call, Dan? Never answered, never responded. So I went on Skype and I tried to message him again and said, "Hey, respond to me. Let's talk. Let's have an adult conversation. Let's be adults about this. Let's try to rise above the mud and muck and mire and bullshit of YouTube, and let's two adults come together and have a reasonable conversation. Can we do that?" I would like to respond to the things that you said about the incorrect things that you said about what I said in the video, and I want to respond to you in full, and I want to make sure that your audience.
Damn. Thank you. Who was it that wrote? Billy Wazza. Thanks for pointing out that it's blurred on the stream. I have to change my settings. I'll do that later because I have to find how to do it. I will paste a link to it so people can see the video themselves and read the comments and spot the typos. I say typos because they're not real typos. There's a difference between a typo and a spelling mistake or a grammatical error. So in the chat, I'm pasting the link. I will play with the settings so that it's better visuals, although I don't know what that will do to the actual stream. So let's continue.
Here's what I have to say as well, instead of this just whole one-sided thing that you do. Now, Dan is in the business of making response videos. That's all Dan does. I don't make response videos. I think I've made I think this Simon Dan is maybe one out of 2 response videos I've ever made on YouTube ever. I don't engage in it because I think it's retarded. I think it's childish and it doesn't lead anywhere, right? So this is like one of the only response videos that I've ever done. Yeah, he makes response videos all the time. He's responding to people all the time and it's insinuating very clearly that these people are fucking idiots and retards and morons and things like that, right? So after he didn't respond to me, I blocked him because I was like, okay, well, I guess this is done, right? I mean, the guy's not going to get back to me. He's not going to respond. We're not going to have a debate. We're not going to have a conversation. I guess I'm just going to let water under the fucking bridge, bygones be bygones, and let the whole thing move on, right? I'm just going to be the better man and the bigger man and just say, fucking forget it, okay? I'm not going to convince him of anything anyway. Apparently, I'm not going to convince the legion of idiots that descend on his YouTube channel. I'm not going to convince them of anything either. So I guess I'm just going to be the better man and the bigger man and move the fuck on. So that's where I left it. So I said, all right, I'm done. Blocked Simon Dan, fucking whatever, right? Then, a year and a half later, whatever it was, it comes up again. So now I'm responding. So hence why I blocked him. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. Whatever. I'm not even going to waste my time. But now you made me waste my time. So by the way, after this whole thing is done, like I said, we'll be returning.
Sorry. But when he said, now you made me waste my time, I couldn't, every single time I've heard this, I couldn't help but seeing Oliver Hardy saying, now look what you made me do. Sorry.
Your regularly scheduled programming. You just got to get these 3 videos out here. So he responded to me with, you misspelled gibberish. And so I said, hey man, I thought we were done with this whole song and dance. But you went and made it.
Well then, wait. Separate from saying you misspelled gibberish, he then goes on to write something that has so many spelling mistakes, which is why I keep saying, Glenn McIntosh, are you watching? It's just like, wow. And it's not just, well, you'll see if you watch the video, because apparently it's too blurry on this screen.
Exclaiming how 22 divided by 7 is not an approximation, a widely used and common abbreviation and approximation of pi. You said it's not, and well, golly gee, Danny boy, that's just plain fucking stupid. That's just stupid. That clearly shows that common and widely used abbreviations and approximations of pi, like 22 divided by 7, 44 divided by 14, and 28, or 88 divided by 28, 864 divided by 275, or 355 divided by 113, all of these approximations are widely used in multiple disciplines of science and math. There's no question about it. But Danny boy, the pipes and pipes are calling, can't seem to understand that. So I would like to correct him on that. That's what I wanted to do. So let's talk email me. So he did email me.
Now, this is where it's like, oh, this writing is by Simon Dan. It's more than just a couple of lines. Oh dear, mistakes. But what Matterly's just said, which is like, look, guy, saying that this is not so is stupid. I wanted to jump in and say, yeah, just as stupid as still claiming the equinox happens on the same day, which Wolfie did in a recent video, just a couple of videos ago. He still claims equatorial mount proves spherical Earth, and the fact that the equinox happens worldwide on the same day is the same level of stupid. It's like, in fact, that's more stupid because to understand pi and the approximations, you're entering it in a different field. To understand that the equinox does not happen on the same day, in fact, there are weeks between places having the equinox, that's more accessible. That's more easy to look at, more easy to see. Just go to time and date or go to SunCalc. Anyway, let's continue. He's going to read out what he said. He's not going to point out the errors. So I have to say, Marty, dude, you missed an opportunity to point out the errors there. First, hi Marty, lowercase m. Is that no? It's a name. So anyway.
And this was his email. Hi Marty. My whole thing with YouTube is to tell people that not everything you see on the internet is true. Well, you're a fucking liar, Simon Dan. You're a liar, because your whole thing with YouTube, as we will clearly see in this deconstruction of your little Simon Dan YouTube channel, as we can clearly see, what your whole thing is to tell people that not everything you see on the internet is true. Actually, what you're doing is specifically saying that certain people are idiots and morons, and what they believe is nonsense, and that you are actually debunking it with the scientific method. That's what you're doing, and that's what we're going to see what you're doing. You're claiming it yourself, and now here you're lying to me and saying that's not what you're doing. So this is why I'm doing this, because I would like everybody to know that what you're looking at here is a fraud. Okay? I try to do that in an entertaining way and make a point of attacking ideas only and not the person. No, you clearly do not do that. You consistently insinuate that people are idiots and morons, and you don't debate anybody. You won't have an open discussion with anybody. Like I said, as you'll see, you didn't even respond to this debate. You're saying, no, I'm not going to do that. So you're not just doing an entertaining little attacking ideas. You're slandering people. And as what happened to me the other day, I woke up and I look at my phone, and next thing I know, I have thousands of people that descend on my YouTube channel calling me a fucking twat and an idiot and a loser and a retard and somebody that doesn't understand math. Well, I'm responding because I would like to reach those people and say that you're wrong. And I did that in the response video. Okay? Seeing your response to me, he says, whereby you called me all sorts of names, was disappointing.
Oh. I have to say this. Where Marty just read, whereby you call... He's reading what's written. Whereby you called me. It's like, whereby is one word. You could have just said, where you called me all sorts of names, but whereby? Anyway, well...
both of your videos were disappointing too, because they lacked any sort of logic or reason whatsoever. As you showed, you don't even understand the basics of calendar building. You don't even understand that pi is an infinite number and needs to be truncated. So that's pretty disappointing. That's disappointing for the thousands of people that don't understand that either. That's really disappointing. That's sad. You know, people think that I'm doing this out of anger. What I'm really doing is exemplifying my sadness over the like I said, the platoon of complete and utter morons that don't understand basics, rudimentary shit. That's sad. Why would I want to converse with you after you called me all these names? That's a chicken shit root. I'll be cordial with you. I won't swear. I promise this. If you do a debate with me, I won't curse at you. I won't call you names. I won't swear.
That's the same as saying, you were mean to me. Why would I debate you? If you were mean to me. Oh dear.
We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about it scientifically. Okay? You still want to do it? He goes, besides, I don't debate as a rule. Mainly because the things I talk about are not up for debate. This is what Simon...
You know what's not up for debate? Dogma! That's right! Dogma! That's what you call something that's not up for debate. Dogma, there's a word for it, it's called dogma.
Dan said, a man that's claiming on his channel that he is a scientific man. He is saying that the things that he discusses, the science that he discusses, is not up for debate as a rule. Mainly because, and he goes, the things I talk about are not up for debate, and I don't see the content of your videos to be any different. What are you talking about? I'm openly asking you for a debate. I'm challenging you. I'm saying let's raise money for charity. Also, you probably do have a higher IQ than me, but IQ doesn't mean much to me. You said the same thing as well, so a live test seems pretty pointless. So what did Simon Dan what did Del?
Okay. Sorry, Marty. You could have got a lot more meat off them bones. Where is it? IQ. You probably do have a higher IQ than me, but IQ doesn't mean much to me. It's M, then capital E. Okay? And IQ are both lowercase without full stops between. Now, sure, people can abbreviate without the full stops between or the period, but the right way is an abbreviation, you put a period. And it's capital I, period, capital Q. Okay? Now, he writes, you probably do have a higher IQ than me, but IQ doesn't mean much to me. Yes, that's because your IQ is that low. If your IQ was a little bit higher, IQ would have a meaning to you. It would mean something to you. See, if your IQ was sufficiently high as to understand the importance of IQ, then you would see, well, importance in IQ because you would understand that importance. But because your IQ is so low, you don't see that importance. You understand? Sure, it's not everything. Somebody can be very stupid and be a really good cook. But in a world where you're playing yourself off as being some kind of informed character, to be a low IQ informed character, it's a bit of a, well, it's schadenfreude. Laughable. It's incredibly unfortunate. But you are reaching people like other low IQ folks, like Glenn McIntosh. And there's lots of people like that in the world. So, carry on, Simon Dan.
Behind the curve column, a globe gobbling, nutter, lit, spittle, something. Anyway, so Simon Dan here, what is he saying? He's a globe head, a globetard as they call them, right? He is a heliocentrist, and this heliocentrist here is saying that, hey, Marty Leeds, you flat earther, you probably do have a higher IQ than me, but IQ doesn't mean that much to me. So what did Simon Dan just do there? Did he just admit that a flat earther is smarter than he is? Because that's what it seems like to me. He's saying probably. If I was going to run the numbers on it. Okay. So, anyway, so you probably do have a higher IQ than me. Okay. So then if I have a higher IQ than you and I believe the earth is flat, maybe we should talk about that. This is Simon Dan writing to me, everybody. Just so anybody that's a Simon Dan fan gets a little bit of context here. Gets a little bit of context and gets a little insight into the kind of person that you're following. And as far as the charity thing, I've already raised 8,500 pounds this year for kids with muscular dystrophy. Well, I guess the kids for muscular dystrophy, they don't need any more money. I guess that's it. I guess, we could maybe Simon Dan and I, with our little debate, our little IQ test and our debate, maybe we could raise twice that. Maybe we could do a GoFundMe campaign for like a month, and we'll try to raise like $16,000, $20,000 or something like that. I bet if you put something out to your channel, I put something out to my channel, and I like call up Globebusters and Jaron and stuff like that, and say, hey, spread this out to the YouTube far and wide. Let's get a GoFundMe campaign. We'll do it for a month, and we'll raise $20,000. Wouldn't it be great for those kids with muscular dystrophy to have an extra 20 fucking K in their pants? Put that in your pocket. Is that you don't want to raise money for charity now? I mean, I know you already have, but do they not need any money? Are they maxed out? Did they plateau on funds or something? And then he says, I'm sorry. This is how he ends it. This is how he ends the email. I'm sorry you weren't happy with my commentary. Commentary. That's not just commentary. What you're doing is exclaiming that you are a man of science, and you're doing it on your YouTube channel. Apparently, I'm sure you're doing it on your Facebook and your Twitter as well. You're literally going around saying that you're debunking these people with the scientific method. So I sent him this was how I responded. I said, send me your Skype. Let's chat. I just want to chat. Let's face to face. Let's do this. Let's have a conversation. Let's be adults. Is the email simondan@gmail.com attached to your Skype account, Dan? Is it? Because that is the account that I had sent several messages to, sent texts to, I sent videos to, and I tried to call. That was the account. I have the screenshot. I have messaged an account with this email that as well as your logo.
That's the account that Simon said. Simon Dan said, "No, that wasn't my. No, that's not me. Don't know where it's going." And later he goes, "Yeah, that is mine." Oopsie daisies.
And you said it wasn't yours. Is this true? I've attached a screenshot, and this was the screenshot. So there it was. I typed in simondan@gmail.com. What came up was Simon Dan's channel, and it even has his logo on there. And that is the exact account that I've been sending multiple messages to for, literally the last year and a half or whatever it was. I probably sent maybe 10, 15 messages, more than that maybe. So, and he's saying, I don't know, I never got those messages. Okay, I guess I'll just have to take your word for it that you didn't get those messages. You didn't get multiple messages over a year and a half span of me trying to contact you. I guess I'll just have to believe you. Or maybe, as we just showed, that you're a liar. I mean, here we're showing that you're a liar. So, 200,000 people are possibly following a liar. Well,
by liar, he means somebody who says, that's not even my Skype, dude. I don't know where you're sending it to, but it's not my Skype. And later, oh yeah, that is my Skype. Now, it could be that dark forces, men in black, agents are interrupting communication on Skype. Could be that. But that does call for a conspiracy. Or it could be Sam and Dan didn't want to deal with it, and then thought it was going to go away, and then it didn't quite go away, and then he acknowledged that, yeah, that is mine. Could be. Who knows? Which is most likely according to Occam's razor? Well, it's more likely that there isn't a conspiracy interrupting messages on Skype, and instead, Sam and Dan just thought it would go away and said, because let's face it, honesty is not Sam and Dan's #1 priority.
They're following a liar, but how deep his lies go, that's a different thing. So he responds and says, this is my Skype. Yes, Marty. I can't tell you why I wasn't receiving any messages, though. Apologies. That's convenient. Very convenient for him, isn't it? Well, at least I finally got a hold of you, Marty. You never tried to get a hold of me. At least I finally got... You never tried to get a hold of me in the first place. And then he goes on to say, I don't believe there's any need for us to chat as you're just going to argue about stuff. No, I'm not. No, like I said, well, arguing, if you want to use arguing...
You're just going to argue about stuff. Look, to argue means to put an argument together. That's the realm of philosophy. You construct an argument. So you're just going to argue about stuff. Means you're just going to tell me things I don't know about, and that's going to embarrass me and make me feel stupid. I don't want that. Instead, no thanks.
Is synonymous for debate? Yes, I would debate about stuff. Yes, I would. I would really, really, really like to do that. So please, Simon Danners, and if you're for the scientific method, please let Simon Dan know that I would love to quote unquote argue or quote unquote debate about things, because that's what people of science do. Neither of us will agree with each other. Well, guess what? A debate is not necessarily about agreeing with one another. A debate is not necessarily even about who is right or wrong. A debate is done so that the truth will win. That's what a debate is all about. Not whether Marty Leeds and his fucking ego and Simon Dan and his ego get to stand and do a little intellectual celebrity death match. That's not what this is about. It's about trying to find truth and letting that motherfucking truth shine. Thanks for your time, though, he says. Thanks for my time. You wasted my time. You're wasting everybody's time. And again, I'm sorry if this video caused you distress. Well, your ignorance causes me a little bit distress, yes. The video, I actually kind of had fun deconstructing every ridiculous and verifiably retarded thing that you said. That was somewhat entertaining, actually. And then he goes on to say, I make a point of telling people not to attack the video creators. No, you don't. I mean, as far as I know, I watched several of your videos. You've never said that once. So Simon Dan is saying that, what is he saying here? He's saying that, Marty Leeds, I won't debate you because besides, I don't debate as a rule.
Whose rule? Whose rule is that? I have this rule where I won't let people correct me. Oh, okay.
Debate as a rule. As just a general rule, you don't debate. And the things you talk about are not up for debate. Okay, so this is Simon Dan sending me a personal message, asking for a debate. His response is, I will not debate you. Why? Because I'm a man of science. Yet here on his YouTube channel, this is what he proclaims. If you want to see an atheist using science, that's a capital S he used there too. If you want to see an atheist using science, reason, and logical thinking to promote the proven net.
Glenn, do you know why he just chuckled where he said that's a capital S? He chuckled because that's what you would do with a religion. That's right. You wouldn't. Science, why would you capitalize science? It's not the start of a sentence. I mean, do you understand that, Glenn?
History of life, the earth, and the universe, then the subscribe button is up and to the right. Pseudoscience, religion, flat earthers, they're all fair game. Oh, so he's saying, he's literally proclaiming in his about section on his channel that he is a atheist using the methodologies and processes of science. That's what he's proclaiming. He's saying that he's using reason and logical thinking. Well, guess what, Simon Dan? Part of science is the debate process. It's quintessential. It's part and parcel to the entire fucking thing. And as I said in the video, this guy thinks he's got it right, and this guy and this other guy here, he thinks he's got it right, but this guy thinks this guy's wrong, and this guy thinks he's wrong, and they both think that they have the proof. So how do you differentiate between who's right and wrong? You debate about it. You present the evidence and you debate about it. That is the scientific process. That's the scientific method. And what he's saying is that he is not engaging that. So I guess my biggest bitch about this whole thing is that Simon Dan, shouldn't YouTube take your channel down? Because YouTube now has their terms of service policy where they go around and they say, hey, anybody that's presenting false information like the earth is flat.
How many thoughts are you thinking of right now? 7, 8, 9? Or are you using your special trait to make you think of up to 12 thoughts at once with your beautiful mind? I'm not keeping track of how many thoughts I'm thinking. One of them is, why isn't Glenn answering the question, can circles that are out of line share the same central point? That's one of the thoughts that I'm thinking. But let's continue.
Man who is here proclaiming that he is actually not a man of science by not debating, is proclaiming he's a man of science on his YouTube channel. So that is false advertisement. He is actually presenting false information to literally thousands of people. So I guess my concern would be, is YouTube going to be even-handed in how they come down on these YouTubers? No, obviously not. What happens when you look up flat Earth now? You look up a litany of people that have been in the flat Earth community, and what comes up? You look up Jeranism, you look up whatever it is, right? And who comes up? Who comes up now in the feed? More often than not, Simon motherfucking Dan. So here, the skewer of debate returns. So here he's even claiming that he was going to skewer all these people, and I'm just going to look at all of these comment sections, and I'm going to roast all these people, but I'm certainly not going to have a conversation with them.
He's got a dinosaur on his shelf. I mean, if that doesn't speak volumes to the level of mentality of this Simon Dan, he's got a toy on his shelf. It's a fantasy toy. Now, I don't know. If it was maybe... I'm trying to think of something that would be alright to have as a toy as an adult on a shelf. The most I can think of is that globe behind him. But I say that kind of a bit hypocritically because I have 2 globes. But, come on. He's got a toy on his shelf. I said to him a long time ago in a comment, I bet you go rah, rah when you play with your toy dinosaur. I mean, this world is being separated into 2 very distinct worlds. Now, the world is a subjective thing we experience. there's a world of the Globling where they think Big Bang, evolution, and dinosaurs, and rotating Earth makes the stellar field rotate. Even when you say to them, if you look closely, you see it's absolutely impossible for that to be happening. Because of the stars not actually making like true circles from the one central point. Never mind. When you try to cross worlds and go down to the world of the Globling's like, but I don't know what you mean. Why don't you explain time zones? Ha! Glenn McIntosh. Anyway, this is the world we're living in now. You have Globlings walking around saying, the Earth is not flat in a t-shirt. The Earth is not flat. Chemtrails are not a thing. Vaccinations are safe. NASA went to the moon. It's like, wow. Somebody actually made that t-shirt and is walking around wearing it. And there are people you would imagine, from chatting with them, at first glance, you think they were intelligent. And when you see that they endorse those things, you go, dude, have you looked into any of them? Usually the answer is no, not really.
But certainly not going to be a man and just address them. So why am I doing this? Is this because, is this about Simon Dan? So some people had said, Marty, why are you doing this? This is a waste of time. You don't need to waste your time with Simon Dan and things like that. This is not about me, and this is not about Simon Dan. Let me say that again. These last 3 videos were not about me, and they were not about Simon Dan. And by the way, when I'm going to say this, I'm going to try to be kind in saying this, but people on my comment section, or people that come to my channel, please don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm fucking doing, okay? If you don't get it, just trust me. Just wait a few videos and it'll come, all right?
Now, I want to reiterate what Martin Lee said, apart from the bit where it says, I know what I'm doing, because half the time I don't, especially not with like software and things like that. But yeah, when people say to me, move on from this, I'm not enjoying this, it's like, that's not going to happen. Get down from your I'm a boss horse and walk around same level as everybody else. See? Like, do your own stream and cover the things you want to cover. Don't try and coax me into not covering things any further because you've had enough. Like, tough titty for you, fish face. That's the thought that comes. It's thought probably number 9, Glenn. Tough titty for you, fish face.
I know exactly what I'm doing, okay?
I don't.
Why did I point this out? Why have I spent the last couple videos roasting Simon Dan? Besides the fact that it's, fairly irritating to wake up and have thousands of people ascend on your YouTube channel like goddamn children calling you an idiot. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, because I know a lot of people that are watching this are not YouTube creators, but if you've ever had thousands of people ascend on you in one single day calling you a fuckwit and a retard and you don't know how to do math and all that sort of stuff, it's...
Let me just address Glenn McIntosh. Glenn McIntosh. Why is it you're not answering this question? Everybody in the chat can see. Now, either you're hiding behind this facade of narcissism, which is saying, well, I'm not going to answer your question because that's like you being my boss and you directing me and you causing me to respond in a specific way. Or you could be like a normal human being and answer the question. Can circles that are out of line share the same central point? I've asked lots of different times. You could have answered the simple, straightforward truth, which is, no, absolutely impossible. But you haven't answered. What's the problem, Glenn? Why have you not answered that question? Is it the narcissistic reaction? Or is it you can't answer the truth, which is no, absolutely they cannot share the same central point, because that means your hobby horse of the South Celestial Pole is kaplonk. Okay, anyway, let's carry on.
It's kind of, I don't know, what's the right word? I don't know, obnoxious maybe, a little bit annoying, right? But this isn't about me, and this isn't about Simon Dan. Why am I showing this? Because what I'm doing is showing that when it comes to actual debate about our flat, stationary Earth, when it comes to actual debate, all I had to do was do one response video, and look how quickly this motherfucker tucked his tail and ran. Look how quickly he did. He's like, I'm not going to debate you. Oh my God, no. You're just a stupid flurfer, and you don't know numbers, and you don't understand the 27.3 sidereal lunar month and 29.53 synodic lunar month. When you find the mean or average of those in whole numbers, it's 20 fucking 8. Anyway, so people are saying, Marty, why waste your time with Dan? This is not about Dan. This is way more than about Dan. It's about the community at large. It's about the scientific community, and it's about the flat Earth community. Because we're getting railed right now, and I don't like it. And I am going to speak my mind.
I'm going to address Ute. Ute writes, Dan was on a panel with a flatty the other day, and the guy had a t-shirt on saying, Earth is flat because the Bible says so. Or words to that effect. This is all staged. That's right. That's why Simon Dan wouldn't debate a Marty Leeds or a me or many other flat earthers out there. Because they can't just say, oh, look, you say this ludicrous thing, therefore, whatever it is you say doesn't count because you say this ludicrous thing. So when they say because the Bible says so, it's like, oh, well, that's a ludicrous thing. So they don't debate people like me or Marty Leeds or a whole swathe of flat earthers who don't hang their flat earthness on a religious text of some type. So Glenn McIntosh. Finally, he answers to Rocklover, who said, oh, answer Antonio for goodness sakes. He answers, Rocklover, never. It's pointless arguing with an idiot. You wouldn't be arguing, you would just be giving your opinion. You could say, yes, they can, which is wrong, and you can't demonstrate it, and I can demonstrate that it's wrong. Or you could say the truth, which is that no, circles that are out of line cannot share the same center. Okay? The closest, the best you could come to it would be, well, if you think in 3D, they could share the same center, but be oscillating at different angles to that center. Say, yes, is that what's happening with your globe? So you can't even say that, dim. And I know that you'll be thinking, I don't even get what you just said. I think Pete will get it, but he'll be like, yeah, no, that won't work. So, you did go out of your way to answer Rocklover, who's a geocentrist, spherical earther. Why not answer the question? Can out-of-line circles share the same central point? And we're talking about out-of-line circles in respect of the Earth, not in some 3D inventor drawing that doesn't apply to the matter at hand. Okay? Okay.
Why did I respond to him? Was it out of anger? Is it out of hatred? Is this some ego trip? No. Simon Dan represents all of those heliocentrists out there. When confronted with truth, weasel out. It's the Wolfie 60/20s.
The last time Cody Broberg, the last time anybody debated me, it was that incredibly stupid, godless engineer on the Non Sequitur show. And they were so flummogasted, if that's a word, by what I was presenting to them, they just couldn't grasp it. Look, if the downward acceleration is lessened, then the upward acceleration is increased by the lack of downward acceleration. See? But somehow, up slowly. And Glenn McIntosh really doesn't get it. Glenn McIntosh said to me, well, if you jump up slowly, you go up slowly. True story, Glenn McIntosh. I said, well, go on then. Jump up slowly. Oh, what a... Anyway, Glenn, question. Can out-of-line circles, or can circles that are out of line share the same center?
It's the Reds rhetoric and the Geo Streber and all of those, the Team Skeptic, all these guys that hide behind the comfort of their cameras. I said, hey, I said the same.
When did I say right? When did I say that, Glenn? The very next time I went into the new office after that debate, that's when I said it. Remember? And you said, well, in lesser gravity. You don't understand half of what you're talking about. I'm highlighting to people by asking you a very simple question. Anyone who has used a compass, or who can even imagine using a compass, will be able to answer, no. You cannot draw circles that are out of line unless you move the center, the compass. Okay, Glenn McIntosh? So, do you understand that? Okay, will you at least answer that? Do you understand that you cannot have out-of-line circles unless the centers are also, well, not the same point? Do you understand, Glenn? +1, -1. Are you autistic, Glenn? Anyway, let's listen some more to Matt Elite.
20, Wolfie 6020, come out from behind your camera. Let's have a conversation. I even offered to pay Wolfie 6020 for a fucking conversation with me. Right? I'll do it right now. You, Wolfie 6020, come out from behind your camera. We'll have a conversation. We'll debate about these things. None of these people will actually come out and say anything. And now YouTube is burying flat earthers with their algorithms, right? Shutting us down left and fucking right. So, like I said, all of those heliocentrists out there, when confronted with the
Rock Lover, if you ever came to the studio, if you ever come up to Stockport, and we'll go out, have a pub lunch, whatever, I'll take you to their studio. You'll see that it really is Glenn and Graham who are like the married couple. Anyway, can you explain the distance to your accurate map do not work in the real world? Right. This is what Glenn McIntosh. The question was, do you understand that you cannot have out-of-line circles with the same central point? That the only way to have out-of-line circles is with that central point, well, moving to be the center of each circle. Okay? His answer to that was, can you explain the distances on your accurate map do not work in the real world? That was his answer. Glenn McIntosh, do they work better? The distances on my map, do they work better than the globe when it comes to sailing? Oh, he won't answer that question either.
Weasel out. An entire community of people that I've met, I had beers with, talked with, chilled with, went to the Flat Earth International Conference. Literally everybody I met there was super cool to me. All of those people are being buried by YouTube because we are considered to be not scientific. Yet here, Simon Dan is refusing to engage in a simple scientific debate about very simple things like, hey, can we talk about the infinitude and transcendental nature of pi? Can we even talk about that?
I don't even understand those words. That's what Dan would be thinking. His one thought. I don't understand those words. Somebody get me out of here.
Even talk about flat Earth. So why am I doing this? Because this is not about Simon Dan. This is not about me. This is about truth and the community.
Glenn, why don't you join me now? Why don't you join me and explain to people how jumping up slowly makes you go up slowly? Or any of your other questions about time zones, about distances in the real world. You know, I've shown it several times how, well, the Cutty-Sark must have been rather a lot faster than the modern racing yachts on your globe. Or maybe we'll look at the real world where modern racing yachts are faster than 1800s cargo ships in the real world. You know, they're designed to be fast over fast winds, with fast winds, over choppy seas, which are the seas that go hand in hand with fast winds. See, they're not like fast winds on frozen lakes. So, care to join me, Glenn McIntosh? Now let's listen some more. Oh, I'm enjoying this.
What I'm doing right here is I am standing up proudly for my people and defending the truth of God. When I mean my people, I mean people that are actually on the path of truth, on the path of this honest journey to try to find out what the fuck is going on in this earth. And I am going to stand up for those people for the last breath of my fucking lungs. Okay? This is not me bitching. This is me being fearless, me not being a coward, me knowing exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, me being, a fairly intelligent human being, sort of quick-witted and sort of stuff like that. I'm standing up for the little guy, if you will. The guy that's getting beat down by YouTube right now because we're going to bury videos that think that the earth is flat.
What? I have no idea what's going on with Glenn McIntosh. I just asked him if he wanted to join. I mean, maybe there's a big lag, but just asked him to join after explaining about, distances and the Cutty Sark and modern racing yachts. His next comment is, where did you copy your map from? Was it from Hajime Narukawa? My map wasn't copied, Glenn McIntosh. If my map was copied, then, well, there would be the original one that I'd copied. And I would have said, oh, look, there's this original one. There you go. But as it wasn't copied from Hajime Narakawa. It wasn't copied from anyone. You understand what original... Of course, what am I doing? Trying to explain to Glenn McIntosh what original means. Jeez.
Flat Earthers are getting buried by YouTube. Thousands of people ascended on my channel spreading hate, getting most of it wrong.
Okay. Glenn McIntosh is in his late 30s, unless that was your 40th birthday we went to. Not sure. Anyway, you're right. This is what Glenn McIntosh, who's close to 40, if not already 40, writes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And then writes again. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That's a man in, well, around 40. I'm achieving my objective from chat. No, I doubt that your objective is to look like a complete dimwit, Glenn. I don't think that your objective is to give people the impression that there's something wrong with you cognitively, and therefore you'd like to give that impression. I think I don't know what your objective is, but what you're actually achieving in chat is that you're giving people the impression that you're a moron. Now, he's not a full moron. He can drive and open doors, but yeah. Glenn. Yeah, so it was your 40th. Sorry about that. I wasn't sure if it was you or Maurice, Didn't want to assume. Glenn, I'm asking again. Would you like to join? It's OBS. It's interesting. You could even come on camera. People have seen you already. Be fun. Graham can wave, and Pete can skulk, make sure he doesn't appear. But yeah, come on, Glenn, it'd be fun. Go on. Go on then. Yeah, Glenn McIntosh, he made a hash of that. Yeah, he did. See? Because you put hash +1 -1. Glenn McIntosh, both. Okay. I am asking you to explain distances of your map so off it is useless. Glenn, look. When you're using words to express things, it helps if you use things like punctuation or grammatical rules that help to explain what you mean. So when you write, I am asking you to explain distances of your map are so off it is useless. That's not a coherent sentence. If it was, I'm asking you to explain distances on your map. Full stop. They are so off, it is useless. Then that would make sense, but that's not what you wrote. And I have explained to you already several times that the distances of my map match the records of history with the Cutty Sark and the new modern racing yachts, whilst your globe fails both the history of the Cutty Sark, the captain's log, the speeds noted by the captain, and the modern racing yachts. It really, like, both don't work on your globe. So, there you go. Glenn, come on, join. You can ask all these questions then. He writes, what about when you do spell check in your book and get the wrong words? You mean, what about when your book says father without an R instead of father with an R, as in more far, farther away? Did you look at the typos in Sam and Dan? Your map distances are based on just the Cutty Sark and sailing? What about flight times? No, they're not based on the Cutty Sark and sailing. Cutty Sark and sailing, something you can check once you've established the layout of the landmasses. The layouts of the landmasses are based on, well, the sun and, well, compass readings, like real compass readings taken whilst travelling from place to place. See? Anyway, again, Glenn, one more time, try it. I'll change the question so it's not so difficult for you. Do you understand you cannot have out-of-line circles sharing the same central point? Do you understand that? Do you understand? Glenn McIntosh, Iron 26, just point something out. You just wrote, yes, in published work, you spelt words wrong and, oh, you are having a go at someone in the chat. Look, typos happen, even in academic journals. Typos happen. Editing errors happen, especially when borders have had to be shifted for page sizing and whatnot. Yeah, they happen. It's terrible. Won't happen the next time because it will be written in Word, Microsoft Word, and there won't be any switching over from templates and whatnot, and everything will be. But anyway, never mind that. The question is, Glenn McIntosh. And whilst you're saying that, you go and mess up yourself. Right? Anyway, doesn't matter. Glenn McIntosh, simple question. I'm sorry if it's boring you guys in the chats, but I do like crucifying hypocrites. So, Glenn, do you understand the question about the circles? Yeah, join him so you don't have to write, says Cody Broberg. Glenn, just join me so you can just use your words. You know, your spoken words. Or do you fear I might ask you something that makes you look incredibly stupid? Something you're not expecting, something you hadn't thought of. You know, maybe that would happen. And like, don't want that to happen, because then people think I'm really, really stupid. Right, I'm going to stop sharing that now. Let's see what happens. Stop sharing that. Let's see what happens to the stream. I'm still learning this thing, OBS. So, oops. So I'm looking to see what happens. Oh dear. Something needs to have happened. Something seems to have happened. Which is it don't have. Okay, let's close this. Maybe that's what it is. Yes, that's what it was. Suzanne Dawson, better than Netflix. Yes, don't surprise me. Let's change to here. What's this? No, that's the old one. That's weird. I closed that already. Guys, watch this video, by the way. The one that's on the screen right now. If that's the one that was... The one of the guy... the slingshot guy. The German slingshot guy. Gilby, can't look any dumber. I know, but Well, he's gone quiet. Maybe he's been encouraged to join. He used to join flat Earth debates with disguising his voice until they started learning that he was just a troll and didn't have a clue what he was talking about. So then they started banning him. And then he used, I think, a voice modulator. But then also, dudes, you know me, I know you. I mean, if it's a slow day, let me see. Yeah, if it's a slow day at work, you could even just come round. Oh wait, you finished work. Wait. Yeah, you finished work. You could just come over, Glenn. We could sit here. Don't get sexy. We could just sit here, both of us, and chat. Just chat. Did the Cutty Sark go literally everywhere in the world so you could use its data for your map? Look, Glenn McIntosh just explained. The map was not based on the Cutty Sark's journey. Was not based on that. The data from any such journeys was not used to establish the map. Glenn. So, your answer, did the Cutty Sark go literally everywhere in the world so you could use its data for your map? The answer is no. I did not use the Cutty Sark's data for my map. By the way, Glenn, next time Marie gives me the eye, she's in trouble. Hey. By the way, that's a joke because Glenn said that to Graham about Graham's sexy wife. Hey. Glenn, come on! I mean, if the children are happy and playing and whatnot, just get in the car, come over. Study the body language, yeah. The poor guy, and it's just personality types. Your map does not work, Glenn. This says the ships that sailed around here were much slower than the Cutty Sark. We sailed from here see? Can you see that distance? I just did with my finger. See how it's bigger than this distance? Your globe doesn't work in any of the ways that it's supposed to work. Guess what it also doesn't work? I mean, I have discussed this with Pete in the past whilst you were there, but you probably blacked it out. The 15 degrees of motion that's supposed to happen every hour would be reflected in the skies, well, by 15 degrees of sun motion across the sky. But it doesn't happen. The sun does not move across the sky at 15 degrees per hour. And you can get all confused saying, oh, tangent, oh. It doesn't matter what you do. There's no 15 degrees per hour to the sun. Again, as said before, you have literally no understanding of what you are talking about, yet you still state this because of your ego. Glenn, I'm going to read that as if you were projecting. Again, as said before, you have literally no understanding of what you are talking about, yet you still state this because of your ego. Okay? I just showed with this globe, I've shown it many times, I'm not going to show it again. The distances that the Antarctic racers do is shorter than the distance the Cutty Sark did on your globe from Sydney round Cape Horn to London. Do you understand? Cutty Sark did this distance in 73 days. The racing yacht did this distance in 102. This distance is smaller on your globe. On this, that distance is greater, which means in the real world, the racing yachts, surprise, surprise, are faster than 1800s cargo ships. Can you explain how your line of longitudes are? They are all messed up. Glenn, please use punctuation. No, I'm not going to explain. I can, and I explain it in the Book of the Sun, which I haven't read. Glenn, come over or join me and ask all of these questions. Because I just explained about 15 degrees per hour that doesn't really happen. You've moved to longitudes, which would be that 15 degrees per hour that don't happen. So you can have all the questions you want about my curved longitudes, but you're going to have to explain why this doesn't show 15 degrees per hour. It's supposed to be moving at 15 degrees per hour. But the real world says no. And the data is real world data. Later your brain puts it onto a globe. Okay, chaps and ladies, I will leave you listening to an idiot. Much love, Antonio. See you soon, bud. Yes, Glenn, let's go to the ask Graham and Pete to join us. We'll go to the Jolly Sailor. We'll go for a meal there. It's pretty cool. So yeah, bye. Love you lots. Remember, circles, out of line circles, sharing the same centre, huh? Anyway, there you go, folks. I'm kind of pleased with how this went. I'm going to now try and watch to see what the heck happened with streams and stuff. Because the other one seemed to end, but I don't know if it's this one or if it's I don't know. I still have to figure stuff out with this new system. But guys, thank you very much. Running away, Glenn. He does have young children, so and a very demanding Irish wife. Hoity toity toity! You better be saying the Lord's Prayer there. I love the Irish accent, by the way. I wish I could do it. I so wish I could do it now. No. So, yeah, Glenn, he has stuff to get on. Poor guy. The thing is, this is the thing that's sad. He won't have the courage to go, wait a second, how could circles on the globe, how could circles not have the same central point? He won't do that. So, there you go. It's interesting. Iron 26, it's interesting to see good night. You say good night, even though here it's afternoon, well, early evening. But thank you very much, everyone. Now I'm going to close this down and see how it closes down on the Hangouts, because it's all new to me. An idiot for a father, but he's a good father, because you don't have to be a brainiac to be a good father. You know, you just have to be able to provide and protect, and with the protection, so maybe you want to protect them from doctors and give them poison, you know, but never mind. Yeah, so, but yeah, Glenn, good father. Put it this way, okay, if I was absolutely desperate for a babysitter, I wouldn't hesitate for asking Glenn or Graham to babysit for me, at all. Like, there will be zero hesitation. So, that's how much I vouch for Glenn and his fatherly qualities. He's a good guy, guys. Glenn is a good guy. He's just a bit dim, you know. But you can be good and dim. Right, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.